Why hello again, it is I, GamerZ, and today we're covering a familiar voice.
Hey guys, welcome back to the channel.
For those of you who've been with me for a while, you know who this person is. This lovely gentleman is Quantum Apotheosis, or Jermel Dace in my first video. He's the ignorant console peasant who thought PC was not really a gaming platform. This video I'm about to cover was found on his new channel, Controller Core. And it's not the core you're thinking of, it's the core that's spelled super weird. Should be corpse. Ironically enough, I think that describes Quantum Apotheosis after I'm done with this video. Hee hee! Self-inflating ego aside, let me set the background for this video. CD Projekt Red, the developers of The Witcher 3, confirmed that the PS4 Pro will be getting a patch. Now, I was unable to dig up what this patch would bring, but apparently he uses this patch to segue into a nudity rant on The Witcher 3. His main claim is that The Witcher 3 was ruined because of its quote-unquote pornographic nature. I wanted to read a quote that Controller Core has left in the comments in response to Malikgod's comment criticizing his video. Don't worry, we'll get to the video in a bit. He says, quote, "The Witcher 3 has always sucked because of its pornographic nature." Which, by the way, isn't the main focus of the game. Sex is optional in that game, if I recall correctly. If you wanted a game with pornographic nature as its main focus, then search up Bone Town or Honey Pop. I mean, those are literally sex games. He continues to say, "Zelda has beaten this game up and down, and so has Horizon Zero Dawn, which you chose to leave out." I mean, I guess you could say that if you ignore the fact that The Witcher 3 was one of the most critically acclaimed games of 2016. And not because of its pornographic nature, as you say. All three of the Witcher games had a stellar storyline, the visuals and graphics of The Witcher 2 were amazing, and those of The Witcher 3 were even better. Even The Witcher 1 had excellent graphics for its time. The gameplay was original, and so were the characters. I mean, The Witcher 3 was widely received as a classic. It was an original IP continued for 3 games and has some of the best graphics to date. You can bitch about the nudity all you want, but even as Malikgod says, The Witcher 3 has the best RPG mechanics of all time. Controller Core then goes on to say either you want to play games or you want to watch porn. You can't do both. I'm not gonna sit here listening to a degenerate dick-fapping loser who tries to justify porn in video games. That's very close-minded of you, QA. You're trying to take the objective moral high ground and say that you're right, you couldn't possibly be wrong. But if you were to show your like-to-dislike ratio, you could see that a lot of people disagree with you, myself included, as you can see. I think with that, we're going to continue on with the video. I thank you all very much for watching, and I hope you enjoy.
So, there are a lot of guys excited for The Witcher 3 and its new patch that will be coming out for the PlayStation 4 Pro very soon. So, good news there for you Witcher 3 fans, but honestly...
And here comes the segue. We're not going to be talking about that Witcher 3 patch anymore, but we're going to rant.
I hate nudity in the video games, right? And honestly, nothing destroys a game more than a chick having sex in a video game for me, taking her top off. It adds nothing, right? This is not the time or the place to put nudity in a video game at all. Like shit like that, I have no patience for.
But why not? Now, I get this matter is subjective, and that's fine. I think it's a little immature of you, though, to say that the entire game sucks because it has nudity in it. Quite frankly, if this is the only downfall you have with this game, then what's not to look forward to in this game? Why not buy it? That is, if you're over 18 and you can actually handle some titties. The Witcher 3 has the best RPG elements of all time. It is literally one of the best RPG games ever made, and it is widely received as such. Many, many, many people have praised this game for its story, its graphics, its gameplay, its replayability, and its content. It's like Fable, but many times better.
Honestly, keep the games about the games. I don't need you to sexualize it. I don't need any of that shit. Just make it a fucking game.
It is a fucking game. It's one of the best fucking games of all time. No pun intended.
If you want to go watch porn, guys, go do what you gotta do on the internet, but do not bring it into the space where people are trying to enjoy themselves and have fun.
Oh, my safe spaces. I don't need no nudity in my good old Christian server. What a crock of shit. Honestly, if you didn't want full frontal nudity, don't buy this game. The fact that there's nudity in this game, though, doesn't subtract from the fact that it is actually one of the best games of all time, as an RPG and as a general game.
There are two separate types of fun, and you idiots are confusing it for something entirely different.
Well, no, not really. What you find enjoyable is what you find enjoyable. That is what fun is.
So if you're a fan of The Witcher 3, good for you, but I don't like you kind of people.
And this is where it starts to get immature. No longer is it about personal preference, but now it's about attacking other people.
You guys suck, okay? You're ruining gaming with your acceptance of this kind of bullshit in video games.
I mean, yeah, you personally prefer that there's no full frontal nudity in video games, but that doesn't make it a bad thing for everyone else. It's not an objectively bad or immoral thing to put full frontal nudity in video games. You're trying to control the creative freedom of game developers and designers and artists, which in a free society, that's not okay. The game is marketed as an adult's game, mature 18+. It doesn't have any child porn in it. It's not breaking any laws. And it certainly isn't ruining gaming. With the ability of total creative freedom for the game designers, it's not up to you to decide who gets to put what in games.
And honestly, I'm not sorry, because at the end of the day, families, children, all walks of life are trying to play games.
Yeah, but that doesn't mean that all walks of life are entitled to every single game. There are gonna be some games that you personally don't like. There are gonna be some games that you like that other people don't, and that's okay. Not everyone needs to like every single game. Even without the full frontal nudity, The Witcher 3 is still not what could be generally defined as a kid-appropriate game. It's got decapitation, mature topics, blood, guts, and gore, profanity, and political themes. Are you really gonna say that just taking away the full frontal nudity would allow kids to play this game? Elderly people to play this game? Now, I'm not saying kids should be sheltered, but what is generally defined as kid-appropriate does not include any of these mature topics. So adding full frontal nudity to a game that's already mature in nature doesn't change anything.
And when you say that certain games should have certain content in it because you lonely dick fappers from wherever the hell you guys are from,
they came from a vagina after someone fucked their mother. I didn't really think about it till now, but being born in and of itself should be seen as a disgusting thing. At least according to your logic.
Decide that this is what you want to play, it just ruins the experience for literally everybody who doesn't like that shit. And there's a great many amount of people.
Okay, well let me turn this around. When you say that there should be certain content that should be restricted from certain games so that everyone can quote-unquote enjoy it, then what you're really doing is limiting the creative freedom of game developers and game programmers and people who actually make games. You're not going to make it fun for them to live by a set of rules in order to please the majority. A set of rules made by those who play their video games, not even for a paycheck, but for leisure. They work their ass off to make a good quality game, and then you work your ass off to go drive to the store and buy your physical copy for your console, to then work your ass off to put the disc into the console, and then spend your personal valuable time playing their game. By choice, not for paychecks. What's more is gamers that actually want to play the content that you have restricted are also going to be left out. So maybe what you should do is grow up a little bit, make a consumer decision not to buy the kinds of games that you don't like, and then move on. Let other people enjoy the experiences that you choose not to enjoy. And in all reality, nudity's not a big fucking deal. Oh no, I saw titties, woo, scarred for life. Big whoop.
As great as you think this game was critically achieved and as many awards as you think it got, it would have gotten so much more had they not put that shit in there, because it would have appealed to a wider range of people. More people would have had their hands on it. It's just reality.
But then Horizon Zero Dawn wouldn't have an audience if everyone's playing the objectively better game. If all maturity from that game was totally gone and vanished, not only would it probably be less enjoyable, but also more mild games like Horizon Zero Dawn and Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild wouldn't have an audience, because everyone would be playing The Witcher 3. It's obviously the better game out of the three. Now we can play hypotheticals all day long, but the reality is The Witcher 3 is still a really, really good game. one of the best of 2016. Just because a few immature people who can't handle titties didn't like to play the game because had nudity in it, it still has other more redeeming qualities to that game, especially since nudity isn't a big feature of that game.
It annoys me, you know, I don't like limitations being set forward for games.
The irony in here is ridiculous. Are you seriously saying with a straight face that you don't like restrictions being put on games, yet simultaneously you're condemning anybody that puts nudity in video games? That's the second crock of shit I've heard in this video.
There's a reason why games like Horizon Zero Dawn did fucking unbelievably fantastic.
Yeah, it did do very well, but it isn't as original or as authentic or as good as The Witcher 3.
You know why? Because there's no nudity in it. It's a game that is a concept that everybody can play, no matter what age you are. It doesn't fucking matter. There's nothing inappropriate about that game.
Really? Are you telling me there's no profanity in that game? There's no violence in that game? I even went to Horizon Zero Dawn's rating page on the ESRB and did find alcohol and tobacco reference, blood, mild language, mild sexual themes, and violence. Granted, it is rated teen, but there are still people who would find this game mildly offensive, just like you find Witcher 3 mildly offensive. There is no objective standard for offense, because offense is taken, not given, unless you're buying an actual fence, but that's a different kind of it's not even what I'm talking about. What the hell? Anyway, there's another part of that statement that also bothered me.
It's a game that is a concept that everybody can play,
unless you're a PC gamer or an Xbox gamer, and for someone who doesn't like putting restrictions on games, you do sure love exclusives. Just thought that was kind of ironic, I had to point that out there.
But now you have this garbage, you know, that people are excited to play. I mean, the game struggles anyway in a lot of different areas for a lot of different reasons, and I just don't see the hype behind it. I never will.
Of course you won't, not with that attitude. Actually get up and research what makes The Witcher 3 so good. Play the game. Listen to people who have played the game. They're gonna say very similar things about how well The Witcher 3 did with implementing RPG elements and its storyline and the graphics and all sorts of things. There's a reason why The Witcher 3 was critically acclaimed as one of the best games of 2016. Wait. Oh my god, have I actually been saying 2016 this entire time for The Witcher 3? I'm sorry guys. Pardon me, mea culpa, mea culpa. 2015. The game was released in 2015. It was one of the most critically acclaimed games for 2015. I'm retarded. With that correction aside, let's continue.
So, The Witcher 3 getting a patch on the PS4 Pro, if that's your thing, you go for it, but again, I don't like this shit, and I honestly don't like people that has, you know, this mindset where you should put pornography in video games. I don't need that. I don't want that.
Think of it what you will, but don't try to put restrictions and condemn people who make this kind of content. And I can understand why you hid the likes to dislikes ratio, because you're calling Witcher 3 a shitty game just for having nudity in it. You're disregarding everything that made The Witcher 3 good, and you're focusing on a sub-element. Not even an element of the game, it's a sub-element of character development, or even if that. And you're calling the entire game a shitty game because of it. I mean, grow up! So what? You see titties, you're an adult. Such a fucking childish thing to say, ew, titties, I don't want to be looking at that while I'm playing a video game. Ew. I'm uncomfortable. Either grow up and deal with it, get past it, or don't buy the game. That's your problem. Shouldn't be anyone else's problem.
And that alone is a reason for me to say fuck this game.
Yeah, this one detail that I'm mildly offended by in a game that offers so much, like the plot, character development, the gameplay, RPG elements, questioning the morals of the real world based on political themes you find in the game. There's one sub-element of the game, sex with women who have tits. I'm mildly offended by that, and fuck this game for that one little reason. This game is overall garbage because of this one small detail. Who's gonna take your gaming channel seriously? And this channel is derived by somebody who argues about fucking TVs. Like, televisions. Things that are either objectively good or objectively not. At this point, I can see why you're too childish to handle a pair of titties. But just because you're too immature to handle it doesn't mean other people aren't.
You should never be looking at a pair of tits, a chick orgasming, a softcore porn scene, anything like that, okay? You keep that shit on your whatever the hell websites you go on, okay?
Restrictions! From someone who doesn't like restrictions in gaming. This is pretty ironic.
Keep it out of gaming, right? Let's keep it clean. Let's be adults, right? Grow up.
Yeah, let's keep it clean. Let's be adults and keep it clean. Gotta keep it clean for the kids. All of the games, because kids should be entitled to every single game on the market. Every single one. Get out of here with that restrictive bullshit. This game appeals to an audience you aren't a part of. Deal with it. If anyone here should grow up, it should be you, someone who obviously can't handle a pair of tits. Fucking pixels on a screen. Are you kidding me?
That would help.
Yeah, it would help us as gamers if you didn't restrict games as you say you don't like doing. But the restriction you're talking about is you should let everyone be able to play every single possible game there is out there. Even though you promote exclusives, but let's just, forget about that for a second. You limit the creative freedom of game developers to suit everybody instead of allowing the consumers to choose what offends them, what doesn't, what they're comfortable with, and what they're not, in order to pick the games that they want to play and what they don't want to play. You're not a child anymore. You can pick what games to buy and what not to buy. You can make these adult decisions. I believe in you, QA. I totally believe that you are able to make these mature, conscious, consumer decisions to buy the products that you want and stay away from those that you don't want. Now stop being a totalitarian bitch and demanding that everyone keeps everything clean just for the eyes of you and for the kids.
It's just... I don't know what's happening to gaming, guys, but we gotta get gaming back. Real gaming back.
This is real gaming. This is actually real gaming, dealing with political topics, mature themes, in a work of fiction, a work of art, and an interactive one at that. I don't know, maybe you wouldn't be so triggered if you actually had games to choose from like you do on the PC, but as a Sony pony bitch, I can understand why you'd be a little upset that a few games aren't censored for your eyes. 'Cause in all honesty, there's not many to choose from. And apparently with the console being marketed as a family-friendly product, especially with its ease of use and treating you like a retard, I guess that also implies that only children play consoles. We need to keep these games clean for the children. Fuck off. People play video games. All kinds of people. And if you're not part of the audience that a game is targeting, then don't buy it. Instead of trying to dictate what content can be in a game and what content can't be in a game. Mr. I don't like to restrict games.
That's all I gotta say for now, and until next time, guys, I'll see you later.
Toodles. And that's where that video ends. Thank God QA was conscious enough not to put titties in it. I want to see QA actually respond to this. And I mean actually respond to it. I mean going through the video, taking apart my points, or paraphrasing my points if he's too lazy to edit, and he does it live like he does every other video. I want to see that happen. He tried to do it once on a video that he said would never get any views, and it has over 1,000 now. That's 3/10 more than his video, as of today. This guy is like an irony machine. Anyway, his video's over, now I'm gonna stop talking about him, and I'm gonna start talking about me. First, some important news. Tomorrow is the 1-year anniversary for this channel, which I think is a perfect time to not only do a PC versus console redo video, because my other one's 30 minutes long and is fucking garbage in every way, and secondly, I think that's also a good time to do the live Q&A. So tomorrow at, let's say 12, we'll do maybe a 30-minute live Q&A. You guys can come on and ask me whatever question you want. I'll answer it to the best of my abilities. And we can have some fun. It might not even be asking questions. I could be talking with you, doing whatever, for 30 minutes. That's not the only way to talk to me, though. As many of you already know, there's a Discord link in the channel homepage of my channel at the top right, and you can use that to talk to me whenever you want. Ask questions whenever you want. So don't feel limited to only ask questions tomorrow and whatever. However, for those that don't want to get Discord, there's the comment section down below for you guys to ask questions, give me comments, give me critiques and all that, and I'd be happy to answer them, respond to them, criticize them, anything that I can do, and make you feel happy, sad, angry, lovely, fucking lonely, or whatever. And QA, that goes for you too. I expect a response. You've done it once already, no reason why you shouldn't do it again. This time, the video was made 20 minutes long specifically for you. For the lovely other people that watch my videos, I thank you so much for your support, I thank you so much for watching, and I hope you enjoy. Enjoyed. Past tense.